This episode is sponsored by The Break Room, downtown's best spot for a hot lunch every business day.
On this episode, Topeka Civic Theatre, Trails Gallery and Market, Marion Lane Candles, and Positive Connections.
Well, here on Talk About Topeka, we got this guy right over here. It's Shannon Reilly from Topeka Civic Theatre, artistic director and overall general awesome guy.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited. I've been invited back. This doesn't even happen at family reunions. So thank you.
Well, we had a couple of really awesome announcements. First of all, you've got a show opening up on the main stage.
That's right.
Don't Dress for Topeka Civic Theatre.
That's right. Plans for Optional Friday.
Very nice.
Don't Dress for Dinner. It's a very, very funny farce. This is really cool. It's about a guy. His wife is going away for the weekend to visit his mother-in-law. So he invites his mistress down. Who wouldn't do that? It's perfect.
That's a good idea.
Legitimate.
Sure.
It's a French farce.
Absolutely.
So, and also to cover his track, he invites his best friend to come down too, so that if the neighbors ask, he can always say his mistress is his best friend's girlfriend. But what he doesn't realize is that his best friend is also having an affair with his wife. So when his wife finds out the best friend is coming, she decides not to leave and stay so she can see her lover. So as a result, he has to tell his lover to pretend to be his wife's lover's girlfriend. But then a cook shows up and he mixes up who is who, and everybody has a different identity by the end of the night. So it's very funny. A lot of yelling, drinking, slamming doors, rolling downstairs. Very, very funny wordplay. It's a perfect farce. Great mind candy. You come, turn off your brain, and have a great time.
My brain just shut off just like thinking about it. Of course, that's not hard to do.
No. It's kind of like those snooze alarms.
Yeah, absolutely. And this has been done at Civic Theatre a long time ago.
Yeah, back in
years ago.
I think 1998 we did it down at the warehouse. It was one of the last shows of the before we left the warehouse. Back when I was young and had hope. And but I had a great cast. Bruce Smith was in it. Jeff Montag. My wife Alex Riley was in it. Angela Davis, Matt Bauer, and I'm probably forgetting somebody, and I'm in trouble. So
who's in it now?
Gina Coffin was in them, but now it's a whole new cast. It's Sean Nyberg, who plays the Bernard character, and Keegan Cole. Then we have Morgan Trisht, Katie Martin. Maybe testing my brain. Dana Shobe.
You have 10 seconds.
I know. Dana Shobe and Sherry Ripple.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely dynamite. She's wonderful in the show. So it's a great cast of 6, and boy, have they worked hard. You know, when you're doing a farce, I kind of call it the ballet of the absurd, because it all is everything has to be so well choreographed. It's like organized chaos, and they have to know the rhythm, and they have to be able to follow that, and so you really have to be on your A game to play farce well, and this cast is on their A game from the beginning to the end, so it's a great show.
A lot of people have a hard time, putting farce together. And it's something you've got to. You're good with that.
Thank you.
You're really good with that.
Well, I blame it on a very dysfunctional childhood. But I do think when it comes to farce, you really got to know the anatomy of a joke, and you got to be able to do the setup, and you got to be able to do the punchline, but then you got to do the reaction afterwards. That really is what gets the laugh. And so in each one of the bits that happen, sometimes they're physical, sometimes they're verbal, but they all have a build. And you have to follow that rhythm and understand where that rhythm is and where you need to release and then wave back up to another attack. So it's a thrill to do that with actors who are good at what they're doing, can really read that, and I have that with these 6 people.
Of course, we're talking about Don't Dress for Dinner with Shannon Reilly, artistic director of Topeka Civic Theatre. Let's talk a little bit about the show and the author of the show, like the
Right. Well, it is a genuine French farce. It's got 5 doors. It was a French play. It's actually the translation of the play was the original French title was Pajamas for 6. And
it's like my Christmas.
Yes, that's right. It actually sounds rather exciting, actually. It was translated and done on the English stage first, and actually it played on Broadway, but TCT beat Broadway. We did it 2 years before it went to Broadway.
No kidding.
So yeah, we actually did it first. And it was it's one of those shows where you think you know what's going to happen. There's no way it can get weirder. There's no way it can get more bizarre, and then it does. And you just laugh the whole time. And it's a beautiful set. It's just this barn that has been converted into a French countryside home. And Ted Shankar, our set designer, did a magnificent job with it. And then people get drinks and dessert and everything thrown on them. So Kate not only had to come up with great costumes, but multiple versions of them that can be cleaned every night and put back on actors the next day. So it's really, it's a very demanding show, and the actors are exhausted at the end of it. But they go through a lot of fake liquor.
Yeah. It's like this show, except you go through the real liquor. Of course, you can find out about all this information we were talking about next year's season and this year's season. Wizard of Oz is coming up. That's a big one this summer.
This is the mayor of Munchkin Land when we did it before.
Mayor of the Munchkin City.
No, he was better.
It's good time. I was a little better than that. I was a little shorter. That was a while ago. We're looking forward to everything they have to offer. Of course, Don't Dress for Dinner is happening right now, so check that out. Everything else at TopekaCivicTheatre.com and get those tickets. What's the phone number?
357-5213, or you can go to TopekaCivicTheatre.com, where you can order your tickets online, as well as you can check out all the wonderful things that are coming up, including information on our 4 performance companies. We do over 250 nights of entertainment a year.
This guy's a heck of a pro. Look at how he did that one song. We've got Jeff Hisey and Trisha Welch here in the studio with us. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. You're with Trails Gallery and Market. How we doing?
Great.
Wonderful,
great.
thank you.
Now, Trails, you're on. The address is what's your address?
109 North Kansas.
Okay, 109 North Kansas Avenue. But you're not actually on the north side of the river. You're actually on the south side of the river.
Exactly.
That big, beautiful building right there as you go across the river, and it's quite a building.
Yes.
What led you guys to that building? Let's start out with that, because that's pretty cool.
I got a phone call from a friend of mine that gave me this opportunity, and researched it for a little more than a year and kind of jumped into it with both feet, and been having a great time ever since. It's a lot of fun. But there's always constant change. There's always something changing. So it allows me to stay focused on how to build this. And it's kind of like creating an art project, because each floor will be a different setting. You're not going to get worn out just by looking at one floor and seeing the same thing throughout. And like
How many floors are in the building?
We got 4 floors, 3 floors including the basement.
Wow.
So there's a total of 43,000 square feet.
That's huge.
And
Yes, it is.
We want to try to fill this whole place up.
There's a history of that building. You said it used to be a warehouse for Marlings. We were just talking a little bit about some furniture here. There's a big history about it as well.
Yes, it originally was built for International Harvesters Bank. And then
Which dates back.
back, 1906.
The building's 100 years old, so,
Wow.
And it's pretty interesting, hearing how everything has changed through time. Because the back of the building was the front of the building. The first floor was originally the basement floor. So the floors have changed, the front of the building has changed. So it's changed throughout time. It was Ed Marling's warehouse after International Harvesters Bank. And then it became Kansas Bumper, where you go buy automotive stuff for body shops and whatnot. And then it was Paint Innovations, and that's where I'd buy my materials to do my art.
Interesting, very interesting. Okay, you said it's a very complex, kind of operation you have going on there. What's the elevator speech about Trails Market and Gallery? Like, tell us just the real quick, if you're trapped in an elevator with me and I said, what is this?
It's a laid back. We just wanted to have a feel that anybody who comes through wants to stay, that they feel welcomed, that they belong there, whether you are an artist or a vendor or a shopper, but that you feel like, you are experiencing something that Topeka doesn't have, or once upon a time did have and needs again. We are old school people, and so we have always enjoyed the feel of what Topeka used to have and the vibe that it used to bring for all ages.
Yeah.
So I know that that's a big deal for us. to hopefully put that out there. And we hear a lot of feedback that people are digging it. We're hearing the feedback that we want to. And so that, I think, is our best, not so much a pat on the back, but thing that a person can say to us is, wow, and this is cool, and we'll be back.
Right when they walk in the door, it's fun watching the people because they come in not expecting what they're about to see.
And the thing that I like that people also enjoy, and it's a big favorite of mine and Jeff's, is that it's still rough. I mean, the old floors and the building and all the beams in it, it's still, we didn't change or want to change or cover up any of that.
That's the
old
best stuff,
bones.
isn't it?
Yeah,
exactly.
People pay a lot of money for that.
You can walk into some place with this vanilla shell and people pay a lot to put that in there.
This is true. This is
Yeah, we're just shabby slick.
Absolutely. You guys have such a unique, and how do patrons who want to come in and shop, how do they get you?
They find either one of us. As far as getting in touch with us, if they're wanting to call us, our number is, you'll get a hold of me, is 785-806-7171.
And our days are Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, 10 to 5.
Okay.
And just like I said, always check Facebook. There are, we will be like to add another day eventually, so I'll get that up there. But when we do have special reasons to be open late, I get it out there on Facebook.
So everyone should be sure if they're on Facebook to like Trails Market and Gallery's page.
Bright
on there.
yellow
That's
front
right.
door. You can't miss it. Across from the lottery on the south end of the bridge.
And what a wonderful, despite what's inside the building, just to see the building, what a great opportunity.
I take people on tours of it all the time.
Very cool.
It's kind of hard during the winter time because it is very cold on the third floor, and there's not a whole lot to see on the third floor. The second floor is coming together real nice. We're starting to fill it up. The first floor, it's constantly morphing into different shaped booths and stuff, and I don't have the normal squared off booths. They're all different shapes and sizes.
But, such is life. It's trial and error.
That's right.
So, we're only human, and so we appreciate anybody who comes in and like visiting with them.
Well, I really
we enjoy
And you.
everyone.
I appreciate you guys coming. We can't do it any justice here by talking about it. You really just have to get down there and take a look at it and see what these guys are doing, because it really is some amazing stuff done at Trails Market and Gallery. Jeff, Hisey, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Trisha
Chris.
Welch, thank you so much.
Yep, right
really
back
do
at
appreciate
ya.
you guys coming here and
Thank you
being
for
here and
having
talk
us.
about Topeka. Well, in the studio with me is a wonderful lady. You've been a guest on our show before, and I'm so glad to have you back. It's Connie Cook with Marion Lane Candles. Welcome, Connie.
Why, thank you. I was so excited when you called, and I am just thrilled to be here.
Well, we wrapped up the holidays, and that's always a really busy time of the year. So I thought, well, I'll let her get through the holidays first.
Thank you.
But you have some wonderful things. I'm seeing some heart-shaped stuff and some great ideas, perhaps maybe for Valentine's Day coming up here.
Yes, and actually what I brought today to show everyone is that we've started our workshops again. And so this is a project that you can do when you come in or sign up online. These are new for us, so this is something that you actually can come in and make.
I don't think it would look that nice.
I think it will.
Would it?
Yes, absolutely.
Maybe I'll do this.
This is something that we've made that you can do with little frustration, believe it or not, and create it, give it as a gift, keep it for yourself. This happens to be heart themed, but we have other shapes and fun ideas, project ideas that anyone can do. So I wanted to make sure that I brought some things, these little melts a lot of people use, and then we have our soy beads that are layered.
Now, what is that? Explain that to me.
That's kind of a new concept in some wax. This is a scented soy wax. It's in bead shape. It's like a little pellet, and we've infused these with different fragrances and colors, and then taken the whole sand art technique and put that into this cup, putting some little dents and things with a little stick, and then made it look like art, but it's a candle.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and you could, if I would have been real, creative, I could have tilted the candle one way, poured a layer, and then had it, do some angles. But this turned out very nice, and I really love this project because they always turn out really pretty. You know,
So there's these little beads of wax. So you light this, and what happens after you light it? Does it all kind of melt together?
It is
or?
going to melt together. What I didn't do for this particular project is bring any hot wax because I didn't want to scare you.
Well, you know, that's
right.
The last time Jamie bought some hot wax in here, it didn't turn out well.
Yeah, I just couldn't repeat that. So I didn't bring anything to show that we take and pour the liquid wax down around the wick. When you burn it, it is going to kind of mold together the top pieces, and then it will just burn all the way down and have a, one solid color on the top, but you'll still see these as it goes down. So it is kind of a fun project, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys are doing a lot of this hands-on stuff.
Yes.
Explain kind of how that's happened.
Well, we have a lot in the past with classes, received a lot of requests for people to come in and make something, to do something, because they really love that, to make things. They don't want the mess at home, which is great for us because we're messy anyway. The candle making is messy. There's just no other way around it.
Yeah.
So this starts out mostly cold. A lot of the projects that we are doing aren't always hot. These pieces inside are already made, and we are then having you come in, put the shapes together, and then we're doing the hot part. So it's a safe, fun, effective way to take a candle on the same day that you make it, because the cooling time was what we were always worried about. And people wanted to come make a candle, but they didn't want to spend hours waiting for it to cool. So this is how we really kind of worked around that. So it's kind of fun, and the requests were there, so we thought, okay, 2015, time for some workshops.
And a lot of people are coming in. A lot of, so many people that I know have participated in the workshops and really had a great time with it. And there's, you're the first person to do something like this around this area, really. I mean, getting these people involved and having these parties. And
we have a lot of fun too. It is just, and we have women's night out. Sometimes they'll bring in treats, and sometimes it's just they're all business and they want to just get in and do their project and get out. And so it just depends on your group, or if you want to sign up for a class and come with just one friend, or if you want to bring a whole group of people. So
I only have one friend. So.
Well, I don't believe that. I know Jamie would come with you.
Well, reluctantly, maybe.
Maybe.
Actually, she would go do this in a heartbeat.
Oh, yeah.
But having me go along, I don't know about that.
I think she would. I think she'd love it.
Not after the last hot wax experiment.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well.
But you're in Brookwood Shopping Center.
We could keep you guys separated, I suppose. But yeah, we're over at Brookwood Shopping Center on the terrace, next to Dillon's, and across the little aisle, terrace from Boss Hogs, and it's just a wonderful area. I love Brookwood Shopping Center.
Tell us a little bit about some of the neighbors that you've met in the Brookwood neighborhood that people should get out and check out. Well,
there are several shops. One brand new shop, and I have not had a chance. I've met the owners. I haven't had a chance to get in because it was the holidays. Tastefully Olive.
Oh,
and they have the
Gary Blitch was telling us about that.
Samples of olive oils, and they do the vinegars and things like that. So that is definitely on my top 10 list for the next few weeks now that Christmas is behind me. There's also a quilt shop that is very well supported. There are a lot of people in town that love to do hands-on things. So this quilt shop is amazing, and they have just fabrics galore. I have to watch myself, because in my beginnings I loved to do that, and I've been banned from bringing home too much fabric. But
you have your hobbies now,
I have my, kind of. But that, and then there are some, the antique mall with the new vendors all the time, so that changes constantly. And of course the Linen Tree, who's been there over 30 years.
I love Melanie Klein.
Yes,
Very
I mean,
lady.
You look at the stability and the long-term shop viability when you want to move somewhere or go to see some business, because you don't want to find that something that you've been accustomed to all the time all of a sudden is gone. And we've had some really great opportunities to meet new people and to share with them what all of us have. We've got the cupcake place, Matt Eliza's. And
now I'm a little jealous about that.
Well, it's anything.
Is it hard being like right across the walk from them?
It is a temptation like you wouldn't believe. We talked about this. Anything in moderation, right? And Brookwood, as a shopping center, has a built-in workout facility, really, because we're right on the Shunga. So eat a cupcake, walk a mile. Eat a cupcake. I mean, I think that's just how it goes, you know. But it's
a new marketing campaign.
Exactly. Maybe that's what he'll do. I have no idea. But the Boss Hogs restaurant, we see so many people every day that are going there. In fact, I think most of Topeka must go there at least once a month. I see people walking by all the time that
incredible barbecue over there.
That just you see that constant support, and I really feel like with the grocery store, and we've got 2 salons, I believe there's still the men's hair and women's, and so you've got that, and a little bar, and the liquor store, and clothing, and just all sorts of fun things. And so now you can come over and kind of do the whole tour of Brookwood and enjoy different things.
I'm happy to buy candles, and I can't wait to get down and actually try some of that. I'll drag Jamie down.
Yes, I cannot wait to see what you will create, because you know what?
It's going to be ingenious, I can tell you.
Oh, I'm sure. I can tell you that I have never
You might want to make sure your insurance is paid up before I get down there. We don't want to have anything happen in the store.
And my next door neighbor is my agent.
Great.
So Michelle is right next door. I'll just tell her you're coming, and she might want to stop in and peek
Make sure
see what you're doing.
Copacetic.
Yeah. But this is something that we don't create anything that isn't beautiful. So you would make a fabulous candle.
We'll try it.
Yeah,
we'll try it.
It would be fun.
Very good. Well, that's Connie Cook of Marion Lane Candles.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Connie.
Thank you.
We're here with a good friend of mine, of course. You're a regular to the show. You've got some great stuff happening. It's Debbie Guilbault from Positive Connections, and today we're talking chili.
We are.
Chili.
Chili. Coming right up around the corner. And it's a good time of year for chili.
Yeah.
Great minds think alike, right?
Right, absolutely.
It is a good time of the year for chili.
So chili, you have, this is like 5 years running, you've had this chili cook-off, and of course it helps Positive Connections, and tell us a little bit about this.
Well, Skivvy's puts it on for us. It's been Superbowl Sunday. It's kind of a Super Bowl of chili, if you will. And we have people enter their chili. If they think they've got the best chili recipe in the world, they enter their chili. We have judges that come in and judge it. And then after the chili is judged and the prizes are awarded, you can have all-you-can-eat chili until it's all gone.
Now that sounds like quite a plan. I am quite the chili fan.
I love chili. I actually usually end up being one of the judges, so I get to taste them all.
So you're the one that should be bribed like first?
Right. I do take bribes, absolutely. so, and we have quite the rivalry going on within our office, because we've actually had, I mean, obviously we as judges don't know who brought what chili, but we've actually had 2 of our staff members over different years win the first top prize, so they kind of give each other a hard time. So they're going to have to hide their chili this year.
What kind of chili? What makes them different, you know?
Well, you know, we have a little bit of everything. We have chicken chili. We have, we've had deer meat chili.
Deer meat chili?
Yeah, we've had a little bit of.
Don't knock it till you try it.
Exactly. And then, you know, some people like it milder. Some people like it spicier. So some make it a little sweeter. So there's all kinds of variations on chili. I didn't know how many until I started judging it. So.
And it's been 5 years, so it's had a pretty good partnership between you guys as well to bring this together?
Absolutely. Skivvy's, we couldn't do it without them, obviously, and they have been very generous. All of the proceeds from the evening, there's a $10 entry fee to enter your chili, and then it's all you can eat chili for $5. So you pay your $5 at the door, and all of those proceeds come directly to us. They usually just write us a check that night.
Very nice.
Very incredibly generous.
And Skivvy's is located, I believe it's 921 South Kansas Avenue.
You would ask me that, but it's right down the
here.
street.
They're neighbors, so it's good times.
Yeah,
good times. They've been here a great time. The good support of the community there.
They are,
Yeah.
very much so.
And it comes at a very important time for Positive Connections. I mean, you need all the help you can get.
Absolutely. We've expanded services into other parts of Northeast Kansas, as well as expanded the services that we're offering with, I think I've mentioned before, now offering syphilis and hepatitis C testing. And we are seeing an increase, I can't say it enough, we're seeing an increase in the number of positive tests. And so it's very important that we are there. Our tests are free of charge. You can get tested, through your doctor or at the health department, but there is a charge for that. So our tests are free of charge and
Completely anonymous.
Absolutely.
So you can be responsible and don't have to worry about anything.
Exactly. And we then, if it comes out positive, then we can get you connected to services immediately, which is very important in staying healthy. So, so we, funding is always a challenge. So events like this are very much appreciated, especially because, Skivvies does a lot of the work. There's very little resources required from us as far as human resources, or, we don't put there's no fundraising expense associated with it. And so it's very, very helpful for these type of events because everything that comes in goes directly to the cause. So that is very, very beneficial for us. And for the community as well.
And it's on Superbowl Sunday, so that's a good day to get out and hang out with some folks. And of course, chili is a wonderful.
Absolutely. And we do the judging at around 3. Okay. So you can usually have your chili and have your chili in bowl 2 if you want
eat
to.
it too, yeah.
But if you really want to be home to watch the game, there's time to come out and have chili before the game starts, and then go home and watch the game. Or they usually have a big TV there in the bar to watch it on as well. So
very good, very good. Well, when you get out there for some chili, you want some chili? Well, Superbowl Sunday's your day. You got the chili cook-off going on at Skivvies, 921 South Kansas Avenue on Superbowl Sunday. So don't miss it. It helps out a great cause, and it'll make this lady smile a lot. It's Debbie Guilbault from Positive
Absolutely.
Connections. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Chris.
It's great to have you back on the show.
Always a pleasure.